Hello and welcome back to the Master Civil Engineering. In this video, you will learn that how to process the results of unconfined compressive strength test for a soil to get the unconfined compressive strength of soil. Okay. So I have already performed this test in the laboratory and the test results are written in this table. Now I will process these results to get to calculate the unconfined compressive strength of soil. Okay. So while performing this test, you have to take two readings. First is the axial dial gauge reading, and for each axial dial gauge reading, you have to take corresponding proving ring reading. Okay, axial dial gauge will measure the deformation in and proving ring will measure the load in kgs. Okay, so for my axial dial gauge reading of 0, proving ring reading was 0. For axial dial gauge reading of 50, proving ring reading was 2. Okay, so these are the divisions we have to calculate it axial dial gauge reading in using the calibration factor which is provided for each machine, and similarly for proving ring divisions you have to convert it into the kgs using the proving ring calibration factor. Okay, so for my machine, okay, axial dial gauge one division is equal to 0.01 and for proving ring dial gauge one division is equal to 0.17148 kg. Okay, sample dia is 38 sample length is 75 and sample cross sectional area is that is pi by 4 into d square, which is 1134.11 square. Okay, so since my proving ring one division is equal to 0.01 so simply you will write equal to, then select the division and multiply it with the proving ring calibration factor, which is 0.01 and press enter. So it will give you the deformation in since for 0 it will be 0. Okay, now since we have already given Excel the formula, we will select the first cell. Okay, and then drag it till the last row. Excel will automatically calculate the value of actual deformation in for rest of the divisions. Okay, you can see for 50 division it's 0.5 for 100 it's 1 Okay, now the axial strain. Okay, after that we have to calculate the axial strain. So axial strain is simply you will write equal, then bracket. So deformation, that is select this first cell, divided by the length of the sample in which is 75 since deformation is in length you have to take also in which is 75 close the bracket and multiply it with 100 since we have to calculate the strain in percentage. Okay, so obviously for 0 it will be 0. Similarly select the first cell and drag it till the last row and Excel will calculate the value for rest of the axial deformation values. Okay, so for 50 division of axial dial gauge reading, axial strain is 0.67 percentage. Okay, now after that you have to calculate the corrected area of the sample. So corrected area will be equal to initial area divided by 1 minus axial strain. Okay, so again you will select the corrected area. So corrected area for our sample is, that is the initial cross sectional area for our sample is 1134.11 square. So write equal to, okay, then write 1134.11. okay, then close the bracket. Okay, then divide it, then again bracket, then 1 minus axial strain percentage. So we will select the first axial strain percentage for the first division. Okay, and then close the bracket. Okay, then press enter. So it will give you the corrected area. So for axial strain of 0, corrected and original cross sectional area will be same, but if we will drag it till the last row we will get the corrected area for the rest of the samples, for the rest of the percentage. Okay, you have to, sorry, you have to divide it by 100. I'm sorry, I just did it wrong. So this you don't have to take strain here in percentage. You directly have to take it in the value, so divide it by 100. Okay, again drag it. Okay, now this is our corrected area. Okay, so you can say uh, when the actual strain increases, the corrected area also increases. Okay, after that we will now calculate convert the load divisions, that is the proving ring divisions, into the kg, and then calculate the compressive strength. Okay, so I already told you that one a division of proving ring dial gauge is equal to 0.17148 kg. This is for my machine. Okay, my unconfined compressive strength test machine. For your machine it will be different. You have to take the values from the calibration factor provided by the manufacturer of the machine. Okay, so for my machine it's 0.1748. For each machine it's different, so you have to multiply the divisions with 0.17148. Okay, and it will give you the load in kg. So first you will select the division and multiply it with 0.17148. Okay, obviously for 0 divisions it will be 0 kg, but if we will drag it till the last row, you can see the value of load in kg for the rest of the divisions. Okay, okay, also after that you will find the compressive strength. Okay, so compressive strength, simply you have to divide the load by the cross sectional area, but if you want to get it in the kilopascal, you have to multiply load first with acceleration due to gravity, then divide it by the cross sectional area. You will get the compressive strength in kilopascal. Okay, so you will select the load, right, equal, select the load, then you will multiply it with 10 raised power 4. Okay, why 10 raised power 4? Because since our cross sectional area is in mm square, if we convert into meter square, we have to divide it by 10 raised power minus 6. Okay, also we have to multiply the load with 9.81, approximately 10, and then we have to divide the total by 10 raised power 3 to get the value in kilopascal. So finally we have to multiply the load with 10 raised power 4, then simply divide it with the corrected cross sectional area, and we will get the compressive strength in kilopascal. Okay, so multiply the load in kg with 10 raised power 4, divide it by the cross sectional area in mm square, you will get the compressive strength in kilopascal. Okay, so for 0 it's 0. If you drag it till the last row, you can see the compressive strength in kilopascal for the rest of the values. Okay, so this is our compressive strength. Okay, now how to find the unconfined compressive strength? So we will draw a graph between the axial strain and the compressive strength, and the peak value will be our unconfined compressive strength. After reaching the peak value, we can see the failure of the specimen, that is the strength will fall. Okay, so we will now draw a graph between the axial strain and the compressive strength of the soil. Okay, now in the next sheet you will draw a table having two columns. The first one is the actual strain in percentage. Okay, and the next column will be compressive strength in kilopascal. Okay, after that what you will do, you will select these values, click on the insert, go to the charts, and select this scatter with smooth lines and markers. Okay, let's take the chart here, delete the chart title. 1 second. Okay, delete the chart title, increase the size of the chart. Okay, then add the axis titles. So for horizontal axis, what is our horizontal axis? It's the axial strain in percentage. So write axial strain values in percentage. And our vertical axis is compressive strength in kilopascal. Strength of soil in kilopascal. Okay, you can make some changes to this graph. Okay, select the horizontal axis, make the tick marks visible for major as cross and minor as inside. Change the color from gray to black and increase the width. This will help you to see the values more clearly. Similarly, for vertical axis, select the vertical axis, change the color from gray to black, increase the width. Okay, make the tick marks visible for major as cross and minor as inside. Okay, so this is our graph of axial strain versus the compressive strength. Clearly, the peak value is this value, which is 73.2 at the axial strain of 18%. Okay, so our unconfined strength for this sample is simply 73.2 kilopascal. This is the unconfined compressive strength. What you will do, you can perform the test on 3 samples and then take the average value of the unconfined compressive strength. Okay, perform the test on 3 samples in the same manner, calculate the unconfined strength for each sample and then take the average value, which will be your unconfined compressive strength of soil for that soil type. Okay, so you can see this is our graph of unconfined compressive strength. After reaching the peak value, it has failed. So this peak value is our unconfined compressive strength for this soil sample. Okay, I hope this solution video was clear and effective and you definitely learned something new. If you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel and share this video. Also, there are many other, I can say hundreds of videos available on different tests on civil engineering. You can watch these videos. Okay, and if you like my channel, you can support my channel by taking membership of my channel, and this way you can personally contact me if you have any doubt in any area of civil engineering. Okay, thanks for watching Master Civil Engineering and stay tuned.